All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeremiah, and in this video, I'm going to be showcasing and installing what I believe to be the ultimate Tesla accessory or modification that you can install in your Model 3 or Model Y. That accessory being a custom steering wheel. Now, if this steering wheel looks familiar, that's because, well, it is. You can see it is made out of white or Spectre fiber, which is a direct match to my door trim pieces and my dashboard. And well, I know that they're a one-to-one match because they're made by the same company, Fusion Motorsports. Now, if you've been watching the channel, then you probably already know who Fusion Motorsports is. They are a channel sponsor, and they specialize in carbon fiber accessories for Tesla, mainly offering dashboard full OEM replacements and along with door trim pieces, but now custom steering wheels that are made from OEM Tesla steering wheels. But because I believe in transparency here on the channel, they are not paying me for this video, and they are not seeing this video before you all see this video. So when this goes up on YouTube for all you all to see, that's when they can see it. They just told me, just give an honest review. So that's what we're doing. However, if you do decide to pick up a carbon fiber steering wheel or one of their carbon fiber dashboards or door trim pieces, you can use code MyTesla at checkout. I do get a tiny kickback off of that, and it will also save you some money. So like I already mentioned, it is a OEM Tesla wheel, essentially just decked to the teeth. So it's gonna have all the same functionalities as your current wheel in terms of heating. So if your current wheel has heating, then this is gonna also be heated. It has all the same functionality with the scroll wheels, buttons, everything like that. But one thing I can definitely tell off the bat is that this thing is solid. I mean solid. The carbon fiber or Spectre fiber is super well put together. I mean, I don't hear literally anything. Like not even on the sides. I can't even hear that on the sides. And if I go to my OEM wheel right here, you can probably hear this if I get close enough. Also, just the grooves that your fingers go into, 9 to 3 o'clock position when you're driving. There's even for people that like to big baller, hold the steering wheel, there's little grooves in the back for your fingers. All around, I mean, this thing is, it's nice, it's nice. Now, the last thing I wanna say about this steering wheel before we actually start installing it is that you don't need to gut your OEM wheel. All you need to do is just take out the airbag, slap the airbag in the cover if you want. I'm gonna be doing that, but you actually don't have to. You could totally just leave your OEM cover on, it'd still work. So if you're unaware about custom steering wheels, a lot of those steering wheels require you to actually remove additional parts besides just popping the airbag out, require you to remove additional parts within your OEM wheel and then place it into the replacement wheel. This doesn't. This is literally a take your airbag out, slap that bad boy in, put the wheel on, you're good to go. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started with the install. So for the tools needed, it's actually fairly simple. You'll probably have most of these just laying around your garage, except maybe this. This is a T55 Torx bit. This is for the bolt within the steering wheel itself. Next up, a breaker because that bolt is torqued down. I also have an extension because this, along with this, would not be long enough, so the extension just helps me reach it. Like I mentioned, the bolt is torqued down, so you're gonna need to re-torque it, which is why we have a torque wrench. And then finally, a very small screwdriver or an Allen wrench. There's 2 holes on each side of the steering column that you're gonna need to stick this up into to get the airbag to pop out. And then you can also grab a bigger screwdriver to help you take off the airbag cover, but that's all you really need. Unless you also have a 12-volt battery instead of a 16 on the newer ones, then you're gonna need something to disconnect the negative terminal. Okay, so now that we're in the car, I'm gonna be showing you all how to disconnect the 16-volt battery or the 12-volt if you have an older one, the high voltage battery, how to power down the car, just to ensure maximum safety. With that being said, you don't need to do any of this. There are tons of people that you can look online that don't power down the car. You can do steering wheel swaps without powering down the car or disconnecting anything. But if you've never done anything like this before, then I'm gonna be showing you how you can do everything like that and how easy it really is. Seriously, if you have a 16-volt, then you don't need any tools to disconnect the car from its power sources. So very first thing you're going to do, go into your car's settings, go into safety, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom and you will see power off. Go ahead and hit that, power off. Oh, also make sure you open your front trunk before powering off because at that point it won't work. So now that we're over here on the front trunk, just go ahead and take off the front panel here. This panel right here. It's easier to do it from up here, this little corner, because you can actually get your fingers back in there. There we go. And then you're literally just gonna pull up. Most of you all have probably removed this. So I'm just gonna set this off to the side. Okay, now with that set off to the side, this is where it will differ depending on what type of car you have. I have one with a 16-volt battery. It actually might say 12 volt. I know some of them were mislabeled as 12 volts, but mine does say 16 volt right there. Yeah, you can kind of see it, 16 volt. These are super easy to take off. All you do, if I can get this lined up, reach in, pull this green piece up, and then slide this all the way to the end, and then just, and there you go. Your 12 volt, or technically 16 volt, is now disconnected. Next is going to be the high voltage battery. So just go around to the back side of your car. The passenger rear is where you will more than likely find it. And now reaching up under here, I'll have a different shot right now showing you where these clips are. There's clips underneath the seat. You push toward the driver's side, assuming you're coming in from the passenger side. You push and then just lift up. And there we go. Now you can just lift this up. Go ahead, lift this up. This right here is what you're looking for. It's just this cord right here. And all you're gonna wanna do, just take this lever and just push it down. Push it all the way down. And there it is. Car completely loses power when you do that, so sorry about the light. And then you can just sit this off to the side. All right, so you can just leave the seat up. You don't need to do anything special with it. Car has completely lost power now. Oh, also, make sure your car is unplugged before you're doing all this. Okay, so once you're in the car and either everything's disconnected or you just don't care and you leave everything on, like I said, it's not really a big deal either way, but go ahead and grab the small tool of your choosing, so either a small screwdriver or an Allen wrench, and you're gonna be looking for 2 holes on the side of your steering wheel. First one, right here, and another one. Actually, I think you can see it through here, yeah, right here. Now you can either have 2 tools and push them both in at the same time and the entire airbag will pop out at once, or you can do it one at a time. I'm gonna be doing one at a time because I'm also gonna be filming. All you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna stick it up in there, and you're gonna wanna kind of feel around, and what you're looking for is some resistance. I think I got it right there. There we go. First one popped right out. You kind of need to angle the screwdriver to be pushing toward the back. You don't want to stick it up in there and like angle it towards yourself. You want to stick it in there and then kind of angle it backwards. So now same thing over here. There we go. Super, super simple. Be gentle. And now your next step, once this is out, you're gonna see 2 wires, a brown/purple one and a yellow one. We're gonna be going for that yellow one. You're just gonna wanna take and pinch these inward, just like that, and pull out. You actually could probably use some pliers in this situation. So if you're having problems kind of pinching it with your fingers, grab some needle nose pliers and then just simply depress down on both of tabs that I showed you, and then just pull, and it should pop right out. Like mine came out with so much ease. Okay, so now once the airbag is out and in a safe place, you can go ahead and move on to the next step of taking the actual wheel off. And it's actually just 1 bolt. We're just gonna put it down in there. Oh, there we go. And now you can go ahead and just start twisting it off. There it is, right there. It is a chunky boy. Set this somewhere safe because we're gonna be using this again. Okay, so now to take the steering wheel off, it's actually pretty simple. You're just gonna pull out. However, sometimes they're really on there, so you can and then just wiggle it out. Now you have access to that purple wire. Okay, so now with the purple one out, it's really just needle nose pliers, super easy, pull straight out. So now we're going to grab our airbag we took out and swap it for the new airbag cover. Once you have your airbag cover off, is that you're just gonna set this down. You're gonna line up these notches right here, you can see them, they're kind of like holes with the notches of the airbag. Right there, that little notch right there. And there's these little clips. You're gonna wanna make sure that this goes under those clips. So it's pretty simple. You literally just slide, press down, making sure that it's under all the clips, and you'll hear it start clipping in or clicking in. Okay, so now that you're back in the car with your airbag cover, your steering wheel, all that good stuff, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to put the new steering wheel on. So first things first, it's really just the opposite of what you did last time. So go ahead, feed the purple wire switch through. It's super easy. It's literally just plug her in. There we go. Now, you're just gonna wanna line it up. We're just gonna put it back in just like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much exactly where mine was and looking pretty good. So just make sure it's on there. And now next, we're gonna grab that massive bolt that we took off. Just get it started. You just want the threads to catch. You definitely don't wanna like cross thread this. It's gonna get it in there just enough. Okay, so now that we have our torque wrench, and before we start tightening anything, we're just gonna get in there and just tighten it until it's about hand tight. There we go. Now, this is what I see a lot of people don't mention. You're gonna wanna torque this down to 59 foot-pounds. There we go. We can go ahead, grab our airbag, and start finishing up. Reconnect the yellow wire. Go, wire reconnected, double check to make sure. And then there's these, the 3 metal feet. They actually do line up with some holes on the inside. I'll show you. Hole right there, hole right there, hole at the bottom. So they line up pretty much perfectly. And if you didn't power the car down, right here is where you'll hear the horn honk. But because we did, no problemo. Just gonna push in a few more times, and there we go. So, install is now done. Now just go ahead and just do the reverse of how you disconnected everything. Plug back in the high voltage battery, put your seat back down, and then plug back in your 12 volt or your 16 volt, and you will be done. Time skip, got the wheel installed, and I've had some time now to get quite a few miles under my belt with it. First and foremost, if I had to rate the installation difficulty, I'd give it a 5 out of 10, 1 being super easy, 10 being super hard. Fusion Motorsports actually does have their own installation video in case you are interested in picking this up for yourself that you can check out. My overall thoughts about the wheel is that build quality is exceptional on this. The stitching's great. The perforated leather, fantastic, feels great. The carbon fiber, super, super smooth. The ergonomics of the wheel is also really nice, the way your hands kind of just sit, the divots in the top for your fingers, the little hump at the bottom, which makes it much easier when the car starts nagging at you to nudge it for autopilot, or at least if you drive with your hand in the 7 o'clock position while on autopilot like I do. I used to have to move my whole arm. Now I can kind of just twitch my finger and it'll stop like annoying me. I would say the ergonomics are my favorite part about the wheel. It's kind of like going from a Magic Mouse to a MX Master 3, if any of you all get that reference. Also, because this is something that I didn't realize until after I had it installed, the lights on the wheel, you know, on the OEM wheel, how you have the 2 arrows beside each scroll wheel. Well, this is, you know, completely decked out in carbon fiber or Spectre fiber, but there are still lights. There's lights, I believe there's 4 or 5 lights that surround the scroll wheel when driving at night, which is really nice. Heating has been great. The heat on the perforated leather feels pretty much the same as the OEM, but the heat on the carbon fiber feels hotter to me. It's more than likely because it's heat going through leather versus heat going through like a hard surface, but nonetheless, I'm a fan of it. Oh, I also want to mention glare because that was kind of something that I had a question about. And so far I've had 0 glare and I've driven it literally all time. Noon, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. I've never once had like glare hit this. I mean, like the sun will hit it, right? And you'll see like the sun hitting it, but it's not reflecting up into your eyes because I actually don't know why. I totally expected this thing to blind the absolute crap out of me, but it hasn't, like, at all. So, but yeah, all around, wheel's great. Love the design, love the ergonomics, love the build quality. If you are interested in picking up this wheel or any carbon fiber accessories for your Model 3 or Model Y, then Fusion Motorsports is the place to go. Click the link down in the description and head on over there. Check out all their offerings. Their dashboards, they offer Spectre fiber as well, along with the door trim pieces. They also offer matte carbon fiber and gloss carbon fibers for their dashboards and door trim pieces. And they have told me that they are working on matte and gloss normal black carbon fiber for their steering wheels. So if that's something you're interested in, then be sure to keep an eye out on their website. And yeah, don't forget, you can use code MyTesla, all caps, to save you some money. These are relatively expensive products simply because they are real carbon fiber or Spectre fiber. The dashboards are true replacements, not crappy covers. The wheel, you don't have to rip the guts out of your old wheel. Also, they do have a rebate program where you can send them your old dash or steering wheel and they'll send you like a check in the mail or something like that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions about the steering wheel, then drop a comment down below. I'll get back to you and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.